steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question? We can't ask Rashad a question.
Let's talk about the draft. Let's talk about the draft. Because I got some thoughts and things of that sort. You know, there's things I want to say. Feel me? But I think the first thing I want to say, man, is Holly Rowe, bro. I want to give Holly Rowe her props. I want to give Holly Rowe credit. I think it takes a lot to get rid of the ego. For years, probably dating back since 2020, like the pandemic, everybody cooped in, watching the draft. Holly Rowe really felt like she was always going for the emotional viral clips. And it got to a point where it was like really forced. Every single player is like, you trying to get every single player to cry, talk about their most traumatic moments in life. Like, it's the happiest moment of their life. And you want them to think about the worst moment. It's like, yeah, I know you fulfilled your lifelong dream as a professional athlete to become a professional athlete. But what about the time your cousin died when you were 12? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And she was doing it for every player. And they were like, your dog died. Like, it was crazy. And the kids just start crying uncontrollably because they're kids still, you know what I'm saying, coming into their adult jobs and things of that sort. And but Holly didn't do that this year. So I know ESPN probably said something to her. If they didn't, if Holly just went off the social media comments and stuff like that and changed, fine. You know, Sydney Colson made a joke about it where she said, you know, y'all ruin everything now, Holly. Like, it's boring. The interviews are boring now because they don't have that spice of the trauma. And what is she gonna say now to try to make him cry? There was no longer that element. So, and so it was funny from Sydney Colson. But, like, I don't know. I really appreciated Holly just taking heed to what people have been saying for years and changing. Because a lot of people see that and they're like, everybody want to talk. Everybody got haters. I'm going to do me. We all know people like that, right? And so for her to acknowledge the criticism, the critiques, and be like, all right, I'll switch it up for y'all. I really appreciate and admire that. So shout out to Holly Rowe. If we're gonna be loud in our criticism and Holly did this and Holly did that, we got to be loud and giving our props as well. In my opinion, it might not be the same for you, but for me, that's how I roll. Number one, Paige Bueckers. No shocker here. Still, the moment that it happened, the moment that they called her name, I got emotional a little bit because it's like my baby. Like, I just remember, man, like, when Paige was at Hopkins and I was just watching her for the first time, and Overtime would do these things with her, the challenges and the videos and the highlight reels. And man, bro, she came a long way, dude. And reacting to her freshman year and building, like, Paige was the start of all of this, bro. I'm not even going to lie to you. Paige was the start of all of this. Like, because I was reacting to everybody, right? I reacted to Paige in high school. Then I was reacting to the Webble one. I was getting kind of a little traction from that. People was like one or two comments on the videos, and they were like, yo, thank you for this. You know, not many people are doing this. And other people would be like, oh, this is why you reacting on women's basketball? Because I was doing a lot of NBA at the time. I'm like, bro, ball is ball. I respect ball. They said, oh, whatever. I lost some subscribers from that. This is when I was saying roll to 300 subs. Now I'm saying roll to 5,000. And I'm 500 away at the time I recorded. It's crazy. But anyways, I'm saying roll to 300 subs. So I'm doing that. I get to the fall. Paige is started coming out. My homeboy over at Swish, shout out to Rob. He's doing the Paige Baker highlights. So I'm saying shout out to Swish. I'm supporting my boy and I'm reacting to Paige. And like, it just takes off because Paige was just like that girl, bro. As a freshman, guaranteed numbers, bro, every single time. And then I started having like a lot of UConn subscribers from the Paige videos. And the UConn subscribers after the tournament that year, that's when Joel came on because I was bringing on other guests. I was bringing on fellow media members, my friends and stuff, peers in space. And then Joel reached out, yo, I love to come on the channel. Joel comes on. That changes everything. That changes the entire landscape of the women's basketball space as we know it today on social media because Joel came on, then the South Carolina fan wanted to come on. I bring on the South Carolina fan, then I bring them on together. Joel and Terrell, it's fire. It's just like, it was just instant chemistry. Them arguing face to face about women's basketball at a high, for hours on end, that inspired, like, then spaces became a thing on Twitter. So people started doing spaces, and then other people started doing YouTube channels. And then Caitlin Clark happened. The Caitlin Clark phenomenon blew up. And then Caitlin Clark injuries, and then everything. Now we see what we see now with. There's a lot of women's basketball channels and things. And that all started for me. A lot of people will say, bro, you was one of the first people to do it. Bro, I'm looking at Paige, bro. Paige was the thing that people were looking at, people were searching and everything like that. And I told her this when I first met her. I said, thank you so much. Like, you helped my platform out so much, and I really appreciate it. She said, oh, thank you. And I said, welcome back. The game misses you. Just when she first came back from injury. So I told her that off rip. She humble person. Man, couldn't meet a better kid, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And this ain't no glaze, bro. She just a good kid. Flage, good kid, bro. Flage, good kid. Like, these are good kids, man. So shout out to Paige Bakers. Dominique from France. Obviously, the new gal, athletic, everything like that. She doesn't like the Wemby comparisons from Tony Parker. Me watching her film, I didn't really see Wemby, but she is huge. She's 6'6". She's long. She is lanky. She can kind of move around and stuff like that. I just hope for a good career for her. She had to sit there and listen to Rebecca Lobo. And shout out to Rebecca Lobo, because, like, you could go there in that position knowing that they're going to hear you. They playing it over the speakers in the venue, and you could cap. Rebecca Lobo kept it a bean. She said, yo, a couple of weeks ago, we all thought this was about to be Olivia Miles. Then Olivia Miles goes back to school. So now we're looking at Seattle needs a guard, but now the best available prospect is going to be this big from France. And we just going to see, like, she is extremely talented, generational talent, and we'll see what she can bring to the table for Seattle. But I'm glad that Rebecca Lobo didn't sugarcoat it. And then, just for the sake of Dominique was hearing it and she didn't want to hurt her feelings on draft night. She kept it a bean. She said it like she would have said it if Dominique wasn't listening. So there we go right there with Seattle. Number 3, Sonia Citron. So this one, bro, I've been saying it in the mock drafts and the whole time. Like, she's projected to go so high. And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, bro. I don't really like Sonia over a lot of the other wings. I don't really necessarily like her over Zay Green. I don't really necessarily like her over Harmony Turner. I don't necessarily like her over Sarah Ashley Barker. I don't necessarily like her over Breezy Hall. You know what I'm saying? It was like, Sonya is a great player, great defense, great three-point shooter, great, offensive weapon. Great just player to have within the rotation. Great team player, can blend in and play her role within any position and stuff like that. I just wasn't seeing it with the other wing prospects available from what she's shown us in college. But salute, everything like that to Sonia, and congratulations to going to Washington. Definitely, salute to Washington. Then Kiki. Kiki goes number 4. Everybody expected Kiki to go in the top 3, top 4. And that's exactly where she went. So the thing that was surprising about this was a little bit, they kind of went best player available here, getting Kiki at number 4. They already had 2 power forwards, Shakira Austin and Aaliyah Edwards. And they're both young power forwards that are, like, both promising. So I was just like, dang, what y'all going to do? Just have, like, 8 power forwards on the roster? Like, 3/4 of the roster about to be power forwards? And they had the opportunity to do it again, and they didn't. They draft a guard with the 6th pick. But Kiki, I was definitely a big fan of hers at Stanford. This time at USC, a bit different, kind of playing next to Juju. Saying she had to kind of figure her new role and stuff. It felt like she quite didn't kind of figure that out on a consistent basis. Kennedy Smith, once Juju went down, was kind of like the leader of that team, really. I mean, in terms of points and scoring and stuff like that. Shout out to Rhea Marshall for getting drafted as well. I know I'm tough on Rhea Marshall, but she did get drafted, so shout out to Rhea Marshall. But yeah, best of luck to Kiki and Aaliyah and Shakira figuring it out in the front court for Washington, D.C. Chocolate City, what's up? And this was the first surprise of the night. This was Josh Joyce. But I watched her film. I watched all the Europeans overseas film and stuff like that the other day. It's in the live tab. I didn't make it a video on the page because I didn't want to get double copyrighted for it. But the only one that really was like stood out that was anything kind of like above just a good rotational player, good player within the lineup and everything like that was Dominique. Everybody else just seemed like a normal role player for real, for real. And that's not a knock. It's just like with a top 5 pick and with an expansion franchise with Anissa Morrow there. Anissa Morrow has, the ability to really affect and lead an organization. I felt like it was a perfect opportunity with Golden State first season existing and stuff like that. It could be her, Kay Martin, and Monique Billings' team, out the grid. With you got some other good role players over there, Kayla Thornton and things of that sort. I think Tiffany Hayes signed with them too. So, Tiffany Hayes, a nice little roster, but Anissa Morrow would have been a splash pick. They go here with the proven kind of overseas professionals player. So it is what it is. Best of luck to her and, everything like that for sure. Number 6, like I said, Washington had an opportunity to get another power forward with Anissa Morrow here, but they passed it up and go guard. They go Georgia Amore. See, we got to go back to Georgia Amore. So Holly, she spoke about her height and her size and stuff like that. She said, hey, it's about the heart. You can't measure heart. You can't do that. And I got heart. I think I've shown it throughout my college career at Virginia Tech and then going over to Kentucky. And, coach has always been there for me and things of that sort. So shout out to coach for sure over at Kentucky, Coach Kenny. But shout out to Georgia, a great collegiate career. But this, we have to put a pin in it. We'll be back. Number 7, Anissa Morrow for the second straight year at LSU Power Forward goes number 7. You know what happened last year with that? That Bayou Barbie clocked that. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying. I just seen so many people doing this. Like it's just added. Number 8, Connecticut Sun. Great, solid back-to-back picks for the Connecticut Sun, bro. Sanaya Rivers, and I thought they had back-to-back picks. I'm tripping. I'm tweaking. Anyways, all right, good first pick, Sanaya Rivers. Sarah Ashley Barker. She was projected to go in the second round, third round. I said, bro, no, bro. She better than a lot of these kids. And Chris Williamson was like, that game against Maryland helped her start. I'm like, bruh, she been doing this. She did this at UGA as a freshman. If you know. I got that reaction on my page. UGA. I don't know who they was playing. It was NC State. Her freshman year, bro. She did it where she shot the shot from the K-Yow Foundation logo and she hit the shot to, taking it to overtime and then led them in overtime. Bro, she's been like that. That's a cold white girl. I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta hand it to her straight. She a cold white girl, man. Sarah Ashley Barker. She is about it. And I'm glad that, like I said, I feel like sometimes we just overthink with these processes. Of like, we know someone's good. We've seen them be good for 4 or 5 years. And we like, but how's it going to translate? And we get too far into our heads. Just draft the players that are good, bro, because it's like with someone like Angel Reese, she the second most talked about player in college basketball. She dominated SEC stats where it's like she was averaging 24 or 20 points and 14 rebounds, and we overthought it, including myself. I'm like, well, the jump shot, and yeah, she's getting 14 rebounds a game now, but she's going to go against much taller and bigger players in the W. It didn't matter. You do a redraft right now, that draft class, she goes number 2. No questions asked. So it's just like, we got to stop overthinking some things, bro. This is Asia from Slovenia. I reacted to her as well. And yeah, she's going to Chicago. So they said 6'4" with deep shooting range and everything like that. Like I said, the other overseas prospects in the first round, they kind of just look like outside of Dominique. They just look like role players, to be honest. I feel like Dominique has the star power there, everything. But we shall see what happens. Number 11, Haley Van Lith. Is Haley Van Lith going first round, second round? She definitely improved her draft stock, climbed her way back into the first round with her year at TCU. And she's now reunited with the Bayou Barbie. You better clock that T on May 2nd. Chicago Sky, they play at the PMAC. They play the Brazilian national team. So shout out to everybody out there in Baton Rouge. And that would be a nice game to go to. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Be a nice game to rent a car and just drive up to Baton Rouge and watch it. And Z James, she rounded out the first round going to the Dallas Wings. Z James, obviously a talented scorer, great scorer, things like that for NC State. Had a good college career, solid career, everything like that. And she's headed to the Dallas Wings as well. So I like Dallas picks, bro. I like Dallas picks a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. First pick of the second round was by Vegas, and it was Aaliyah Nye. Aaliyah Nye also had a good game in that Sarah Ashley Barker game and against Maryland, things of that sort. She was really holding them down. It was like a big three of Nye, Zay Green, and Sarah. I think Nye ended up fouling out, and so did Zay Green. So it's just Sarah doing it by herself, and eventually the gas ran out. But shout out to Aaliyah Nye. That's a decent pickup. Someone with some size, 6 foot, everything like that for the Vegas Aces. So Maddie Scott, I'm so glad that Maddie Scott didn't slip down too far down. She was second pick of the second round and things of that sort. She gave Ole Miss her all, and she was a McDonald's All-American, as people pointed out, coming out of high school, and she gave Coach O that look. You know what I'm saying? As a full-grown, not a transfer Mississippi legend. So salute to her for sure. Maddie Scott for holding down, staying down through the tough years at Ole Miss, her early years and stuff like that, and sticking with the program and not leaving. And it paid off now, because now when she goes back, she's going to be considered an Ole Miss legend and things of that sort. So shout out to Maddie Scott for sure. She's going to Dallas. So like I said, I like Dallas picks a lot. Then you got, I'm not going to lie to you, not familiar. Anastasia Coast, not familiar. Not even familiar. I'm not even going to lie to you here. So we'll see what happens with her. But they say she turns 20 next week. She plays for UMCC. That's where all the other WNBA superstars she's playing with. They used to play in Russia. And she first played at 14. She has great promise, but she might be a draft and stash. All right. Maddie Westbell. So Maddie Westbell over here now for the Chicago Sky. Obviously, we know Westbell, her career at Notre Dame and stuff like that. Good, solid role player, things of that sort. Notre Dame gets 2 drafted. I think that's pretty good, man, for a roster that had the entire roster, you know what I'm saying, transfer out. That's pretty good. So congratulations to Maddie. She's also going to Chicago. Let's see if she can make that team, man. That front court looking a little crowded. Front court is looking a little crowded in Chicago, bro. Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese, Maddie Westbell. I think Izzy Harrison left. Izzy Harrison's playing now in New York with her girlfriend, Natasha Cloud. And who else? Did Bree Jones leave? Bree Jones. I'm tweaking. Bree Jones. Bree Turner is who I meant. Where is Bree Turner now? She's on Indiana? Yeah. She's on Indiana now, because she was talking about Caitlin Clark and them. She was like, all right, fans, keep it cute, because I do like to bark back. Cheyenne Sellers fell a lot, bro. She was supposed to go like late first round, but she still gets drafted, gets picked up by the expansion franchise. You know, they're using open doors to all the young talent. I feel like as an expansion franchise, she should be open doors to all the young talent of like, this could be your franchise to run someday. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have an identity. We don't have, you know what I'm saying, who our franchise person is right now. Right now, it's just Kate Martin, you know what I'm saying, to be honest, to keep it a bean. Number 18, I love this pick from the Atlanta Dream, Tahina Papau. Y'all know what she brings when it comes to three-point shooting and speed. This is exactly what new head coach, Carson Mesco wants to bring to the Dream. Running gun, shooting, lots of threes type of situation and stuff. I would have also liked if the Dream did get Harmony Turner here, and I also would have liked if they got, you know, a Bree Hall, a 3D player, or if they would have got a Michaela Timpson from Florida State, like as the Mox had her going to the Dream and stuff. So I think you got a few choices here, but Pow Pow is really good for them because backup point guard for them has been like a rotating door. They tried to force Haley Jones into that role and it wasn't really working. When Jordan was out, Haley was starting. But that lineup worked. I'm not going to lie. When she started at point guard, it was different than when she was a backup at point guard. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a psychological thing coming off the bench, but like it worked. And I know my homegirl, Monet, I don't know if you're still watching my videos. But if you are and you're going to comment on this video, I come in peace. I come in peace. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Dream and stuff in this situation. So yeah. Michaela Timpson, all ACC type forward at Florida State, played next to Latson. Latson got a lot of the attention, but Timpson was very important for that roster as well over there at Florida State with the Seminoles in Tallahassee. So she goes to the Indiana Fever. I think that's a good pickup by them. They had a really good offseason. I'm not even going to lie to you. Fever had a really good offseason. And so it'll be interesting to see. And then they get Bree Hall. So Bree Hall, if she can make the roster, reunited with AB. We need roster expansion. You know, we also talk about like league expansion with new teams, but roster expansion, just giving them 15 players, you know what I'm saying, 14, 15 players a team will help a lot, especially like with these rookies, bro. Like, because it shatters their confidence when, you know, they get cut off rip. It don't mean you bad. It's just we don't only have 12 spots. Then you bounce around from team to team. Avina Rushfoot, you know what I'm saying? Kristen Williams, you know what I'm saying? Destiny Henderson, you know what I'm saying? Like all these players, they got to bounce from team to team to team. It's just tough. All right, Sanaya Fagan. So as you guys see, we got 1, 2, 3 Gamecocks in the third round. They dominated the third round. But Fagan, you know, she was dressed. She showed up. Nice little dress and things of that sort. Shout out to Forest Park. Shout out to the south side of the A. Real Atlanta legend. Sanaya Fagan goes to the Los Angeles Sparks in the front court with De'Arica Hanby. And out front court with is he still over there? So he might still be over there too, Azare Stevens. Let me see if Azare Stevens still on the Sparks. But you also have who else you have over there in the front court? Yeah, Azare Stevens still with LA. But you have a couple other people in the front court as well over there in LA. Cameron Brink, that's the name I was thinking about and went blank with. Cameron Brink's coming back next season, so yeah, they got some, you know, competition in the front court, but hey, she also has some people to learn from, so we'll see. And here goes Aisha Kolbali. If you're gonna tell from the pronunciation, wasn't that familiar with Texas A&M last season and Aisha. So someone said a consistent scorer throughout her college career at Auburn and Texas. That's where I remember her from. I know the last name. I was just like, I don't remember you on Texas A&M. At Auburn and Texas A&M, Colley's strength is from her ability to finish at the rim. Her shooting range will have to improve. Okay. Shout out Charlie Cream. And then, so she's going to Chicago. She's going to have to fight for a roster spot. Okay. Then we have Lucy Olson. Shout out to Iowa for getting a player drafted. Shout out to the whole Hawkeyes program for continuing, staying afloat. I think they won a NCAA tournament game this year, and now Lucy Olson gets drafted. And they should have some more WNBA players get drafted in coming years. Iowa's always been a decent program, things of that sort, regardless of what you guys have heard. And so it's nice to see they're still rolling. They're still cranking them out. But yeah, Lucy Olson goes to Washington. Once again, 5'10", around that 5'10", 6 foot area, you know what I'm saying? Things of that sort. But they do have some 3-point shooting, and now you got some 3-point shooting. You got to be careful of those tweeners now. And Delilah Daniels over here, she goes to Washington now. When Myasia Hines Allen moving to Dallas, Minnesota, could use some size at 6'4". Geez Louise. Daniels gives the Lynx a boost of a player who can score on her own and hold her own on a defensive glass. Shout out to Delilah Daniels. Any relation to Dyson? Let me see. Delilah Daniels. Delilah. I felt like I would have heard that. Let me see. No relation. Dyson? Related? Nope. No relation. No relation. I looked it up just to make sure. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. Ray Marshall, as I mentioned before, salute to Ray Marshall for getting drafted. I've been definitely difficult on her, especially Juju's freshman season when I watched the 51-point game and stuff like that, and games that Juju just took over and dominated. Man, it was like Juju, Mackenzie Forbes were the only players that knew how to act offensively. And Ray Marshall, she frustrated me a lot on the offensive end, but she didn't quit. And she was on the floor because she continued to provide something defensively and rebounding in USC and Coach Gottlieb. They valued that. This season, there were some times she got the ball in pivotal and important possessions and important parts of the game. She went in, laid it up, finished her layups, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. And that's big for her, Ray Marshall, man. She deserves this. Congratulations to her. Going to Connecticut now. Best of luck on making the team in training camp. Round 3, Serena Sundell. This was a player that was projected to go as high as late first round, kind of most drafts, middle to late second round. So she slides to the first pick of the third round, and she goes, this is a sniper. This was Kansas State's star in the draft with Ioka medically retiring. And should be a good get for Seattle. JJ Quinterly. This is a bucket, bro. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is a bucket. JJ Quinterly is a bucket. I really like Dallas's picks. I think there was another year where I said like Dallas was my winner of the draft or whatever, but I really like Dallas's picks, bro. Throughout all 3 rounds, I like them all. They got a good scouting report there. Shout out to Nola Henry and the whole staff and all the boys, Kurt Miller, all the boys, you know what I mean? All right. Latu King from Notre Dame. Once again, another Notre Dame role player, 6 foot, gets drafted. Now this is we getting like, okay. All right now. Because we looking at the people not called yet. The Deja Kellys, you know what I'm saying? The Diamond Johnsons, you know what I'm saying? Some real ballers that didn't get called. You know what I'm saying? As far as draft name picks out of that get called. Billboard Hove, I put a Billy on the wall. Anyways, so this is where I'm looking like, okay, what we doing now? What we doing? She's headed to LA. Madison Connor now goes TCU. Okay, we love the role players. These are gonna be training camp pieces. Kids to come into training camps, put up a good fight. You know what I'm saying? See what they could do. We still ain't heard the Deja Kellys. We still ain't heard the Diamond Johnsons. What's going on? At this point, we ain't even heard the Harmony Turner. So now I'm like, all right. In real time, they skipped all these picks, by the way. They didn't announce them. They just pick in. And then they show the graphic. The last 6 picks of the draft were these. Let's go on to the next pick. And the next pick was in the building. Caitlin Chen. Congratulations to Caitlin Chen. This is when I was like, oh, Harmony got to go now. Ivy League Princeton point guard gets drafted. Ivy League got to get drafted now. And this is, I feel like her and Kate Martin could have a lot of common. I would love to see them two compete and practice and training camp and preseason, things of that sort. You know, I want to see what Kate Martin working with Caitlin Chen looks like. Just like how last year I wanted to see how Kate Martin working with Chelsea Gray would look like and stuff like that in Vegas. So I really like Caitlin Chen, bro. She's a hooper, dude. She impressed me a lot in that tournament. You know, everybody was focusing on Big 3. Caitlin had a couple moments where she just took it and spin moved that mug into LA. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful basketball. Great high IQ. You could tell she played in the Ivy League for sure. Von Lattis was another player who was projected to go in some mocks, early second round, things of that sort. She falls all the way to the backside of round 3. But this is a good player, man. 6'3", you know, a solid post and things of that sort. from Charlie Crean, he said that she needs to be a more forceful rebounder, but she's a better finisher at the rim. Shout out to Nikki Collin getting a player drafted this year, everything like that. We'll see what happens. This is another Dallas Wings player. I like this class from Dallas. Zay Green, man. Oh, man. Bro, I was so excited to see Zay Green get drafted. Like I said, I had some few things that I needed to happen. Sarah Ashley Barker went higher than projected. What was the other thing? There was somebody in the second round. Maddie Scott went pretty high. You know, she didn't fall too far in the draft. And now this, Zay Green. I had almost all of my things filled out, all my agendas filled out. Zay Green to be an HBCU player, come back from 2 knee surgeries, counted out at Tennessee, goes to the HBCU, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Everybody writing off the HBCUs and SWAC conference, bro. The SWAC, some of the best basketball in the country, period, bro. HBCUs, they line up just like you got to line up in the P4s. Anyways, I'm so glad that Zay Green balled out at Pine Bluff against the big programs. She goes back to Alabama to close her college career and stuff like that. Great attitude, great person. From the times I remember covering her at McDonald's in high school, she was like the goofiest one. She was like the goofiest person on the team. So salute to Zay Green for sure. And prayers, blessings to you for your congratulations, your accomplishment for getting drafted to Washington, D.C., the Mystics, baby. Chocolate City, what it do, baby? All right, but yeah, we're going to get back to this, so that's just one HBCU player drafted, and I'm counting her, yes. Yvonne Ejim from Gonzaga. I ain't going to lie, I'm not that familiar with Yvonne. She's an all-time leading scorer at Gonzaga and a 2024 Canadian Olympian, according to Charlie Cream. Ejim excels in both posts. She's particularly good in the high post as a passer, mid-range jumper, jump shooter, and efficient scorer. At 6'1", defense might be a challenge going into the West Coast Conference to the WNBA. She is going to the Indiana Fever. She's going to be competing for a spot because, like I said, they brought in a lot of talent in the offseason and they drafted a couple good folks close. And now are they going to get rid of Breezy Hall with Leah right there? They did it to Destiny Henderson, but man, want to keep your people happy. Jordan Hobbs, Michigan. I remember her name and things of that sort, and I've seen a couple games and everything in the Big Ten. But I ain't really that hip. I ain't gonna lie to you. Passion and willingness to take on the role made Hobbs a good college player, especially in our final 2 years at Michigan. She's the kind of player who can adapt and be coachable at the pro level too, from Charlie Cream. Best of luck. Best of luck training, competing, and training camp and things of that sort. And this is the bane of my existence. One pick before the dream go back. The Vegas Aces select Harmony Turner. Now, salute to Harmony Turner. Obviously, we big Harmony Turner people over here on this channel, on this side, and things of that sort. Harvard, Princeton, Ivy League gets 2 of them in. They get in a point guard from Princeton and Caitlin Chin, and now they get a shooting guard, a wing, scoring wing at Harvard and Harmony Turner. This is a bucket, man. This is a bucket. She also plays defense. She has a high IQ of the game. She surveys the court well. She can take over a game, take on any type of defenses, different looks. Anything you send to her, Harmony Turner can handle it. She's shown that at Harvard. I think she's one of the better players of this draft. The only reason why she was only even considered and mocked in second and third rounds is because she went to Harvard. That's literally it. And we're going to get to that later. But, yeah, best of luck in Vegas, and I hope you make the team, man. Salute to Harmony, man. Shout out Rock T, man. Shout out Rock T for sure. Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Shout out Head Crack. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Smiley Morning Show alum. Number 36 now, pick number 36. Third to last pick in the draft. Taylor, this is your Terry. Yeah, Taylor Terry, I believe that's how you pronounce it. And, from Ohio State, this one I'm like, okay, I don't know if she's going to make the team. But she works out because I don't know if they're going to bring those girls that they draft and stash from Australia over this year. You know what I'm saying? They were really happy to come to the team, especially the first pick that was like number 8 overall and stuff like that. I don't know if she gonna come. If she come over this year, I think she gets a roster spot over. You know what I'm saying? And salute to Taylor, but so it just depends on who coming to camp. But regardless, best of luck to you in camp. Compete, work hard. Welcome to Atlanta. Everything like that. It's the best city in the world for sure. But yeah, the shooting. They addressed the shooting once again. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. All right, second to last pick. Paige, her power is already showing in the league. She gets drafted. The thing she cries about with Holly Rowe is Aubrey Griffin and Caitlin Chen also need to get drafted tonight. WNBA team said, we need to make Paige Beckers happy. You know why? Because Paige Beckers just signed the 4-year deal with Unrivaled, and she's going to be getting paid more her 1 year and one Unrivaled, and she's going to be making her entire rookie contract in the WNBA the way the current CBA is set. They asked Kathy Engelbert about it. She got embarrassed. She said, well, I thought that's been announced 6 months ago, and she signed the deal, and yeah. Other words, she got embarrassed. It was people talking about Paige was going to sit out an entire season and just declare next year because she didn't want to go to Dallas, this and that. Like, it's so many people talking down on Paige going to the WNBA, just like last year. Remember Caitlin Clark? They said Caitlin shouldn't even go. She should go to the Big Three with Ice Cube and take the bigger bag with Ice Cube and play in the Big Three. They said she shouldn't even go to the WNBA because the WNBA just hates on her, all the OGs, all the people. And Caitlin was like, no, my dream is to go to the WNBA. The players value the WNBA. It's the fans and the spectators that don't value the WNBA, bro. Snyder Rivers pulled up with a bag that said the WNBA been popping, huh? It's popping. I ain't fronting. So, you know what I'm saying? So what does the WNBA do? When Paige Becker get on the mic and say Caitlin Chen and Aubrey Griffin need to be drafted, they draft Caitlin Chen and Aubrey Griffin. And there you go. Aubrey Griffin headed to the Minnesota Lynx. It should be interesting seeing her work with fellow, elder, you know what I'm saying, UConn Husky and Nafisa Collier-Fee and see what happens there. Griff, compete hard. You know what I'm saying? This has been a tough few years for the family. I covered that before and stuff like that with Jasmine Riggs and losing her son with, one of the Griffin family members as the father and stuff like that. And she claimed negligence and it was a whole thing. And then, AJ Griffin, your brother, he retires early to focus on Christ. And, and then your dad gets fired out the blue with the Milwaukee. A lot is going on with the Griffin family in the public eye. And that's just in the public eye. We don't even know what's going on behind doors. So for Aubrey to deal with her fair share of knee injuries and tribulations at UConn and her college career to come back, win the national championship, and then get drafted is huge. Aubrey is just a great screener, great rebounder, can play within the offense, can play within the team, great team player. And we'll see if she can stick. She got to compete in training camp. We'll see if she sticks, man. Best of luck to you, Griff. And Asia Kane as the final pick from France. So another French player. So a French player kind of starts it with the second pick and a French player ends it. Now, let's get into it, bro. Deja Kelly wasn't picked. Deja Kelly shows up to the draft night, man, looking real nice in her nice little fit. She put on a nice outfit. She walked the orange carpet with confidence, and she didn't get picked up. That broke my heart. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause she looked, you know what I'm saying? She looked nice, bro. She looked nice, just to keep it a bean. And, it was just tough. It was just tough to see for sure. Okay. That's just screen share audio. Okay, so that's not me. So yeah. It was just tough to see Deja not get picked up, bro. It was tough to see Deja not get picked up. To be honest, she works hard. She had an amazing, sensational career at UNC. She goes over to Oregon. First year was kind of rough. You know what I'm saying? Things of that sort. But second year, she comes back. She battled. She battled to the end. Last game was at Duke. Once a Tar Heel, always a Tar Heel. And she played Duke with every ounce of her might and her soul and everything like that. She gave it all she had. Great performance there. She put on, especially in the first 3 quarters. Now the fourth quarter, second half of the fourth quarter, it was a little rocky. It was like she should have got it to the big a little more then, and that's what ended the season. But she's definitely a dog. Got the dog mentality, the star it factor. She understands off the court marketing with her agencies and everything like that. I believe she has the same agency as Raven Johnson, and you see Deja everywhere, bro. She's on podcasts as a guest. She is doing broadcasts herself and stuff like that. I really thought that she was qualified to get drafted. That's me personally. And the second one, y'all already know. Y'all already know this one for sure. I'm going to look her up. So we pull up a picture and we'll go there. But the second one, this definitely had me mad. This one definitely had me mad. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Diamond Johnson, bro. Diamond Johnson grew up with her peers, the top players in the country. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me look. I think they were the class of 2020. She class of 2020 as well. But let me check. Even if we fuss or fight more than sometimes. Yeah, she was class of 2020. 2020 Hoop Girls. Shout out to Kyle. That's a Kyle song with Foggy Raw. It's been in my head. It's been out for months, but it's in my head now after I've seen Foggy Raw the other week. But Diamond Johnson, she was number 6. So she was number 6 in her class coming out of high school, but she didn't fizzle out. She was on the USA teams. She was on the little, All-American team. She did All-American games. Start off at where she start off at? Rutgers or NC State? She starts off at Rutgers. Puts up decent, respectable stats at Rutgers. Then transfers to NC State. Puts up decent, respectable numbers at NC State. At this time, she's projected to go in the first round. Same size, same height as, hold on. Let me scroll. Let me do the scrolling. Same height as, I'm doing the scrolling. Give me a second, y'all. Same height as Mrs. Georgia Amore, who goes number 9 overall. Or wait, hold on. Was this number 7? No, this is number 6. Georgia Amore is the 6th overall pick. She's 5'5". Diamond Johnson is, because I know size, height, whatever the case might be, right? Diamond Johnson's listed as 5'5" as well, bro. So what are we doing here? Diamond Johnson averaged nearly 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. You might say, okay, that's in the MEAC. That's in HBCU basketball. Let's go to her career averages. This is the perfect place to look for it. Her freshman season at Rutgers, she averaged 17 points a game. Then she goes to NC State. She averaged 12, 10, and 12. But she still had 4 rebounds per game each season. Still overall, good overall, statistics. She's playing less minutes. She's played 22 minutes this season, her sophomore season. Her junior season, she played 28 minutes. So these are 2 lowest scoring seasons of her career, but they're also the 2 lowest minutes that she received in her career per game with Westmore in them. So she goes to Norfolk State. She gets more minutes, 30-plus minutes. Time to shine. She averages 20 points first season, 20 points in 5, 20 and 5. Then she averaged 19 and 6 and 4, bro, and 4 steals. So let's go to Georgia Amore once again. Georgia Amore, because we have to look at the opportunities as well. Georgia Amore for Kentucky averaged under 16 points, 6 assists, and under 3 rebounds, bro. She averaged 1 steal a game. She averaged more minutes. She averaged 36.7 minutes. Diamond Johnson, did this in 33.9 minutes. So what I'm looking at, point blank period, is why? Well, and then even if you want to do HBCUs, right? HBCUs versus SEC, right? Freshman season at Rutgers, a P4. She averaged in still 33 minutes, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2.5 assists, 2.5 steals, bro. That's what she averaged compared to this past season. 19 points. Wait, hold on. Where the 15 points coming from? Is this a career averages? I'm tweaking, my bad. 19 points. Okay, 19 points, 7 assists. Oh, okay. She hooping. She was hooping. I cannot hate. I don't know where the 15 points came from, but like, see, their numbers are extremely comparable. I don't see where the huge disconnect is with Georgia Amore and Diamond Johnson. I don't get it. Especially when Diamond Johnson was projected to go first round just a few years ago when she was at the P4s. And now all of a sudden she wasn't qualified. I think that's fishy. Zay Green, salute to Zay Green once again. Like I said, I'm so happy for her to get drafted, but multiple HBCU players should have been drafted tonight. And Deja Kelly also should have been taken tonight. She had a good college career. Good 5-year career, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's pull up the stats instead of just saying she had a good career. She had a solid college career, bro. Dealt with a lot of off-court, you know what I'm saying, narratives and things of that sort. This past season, averaged 12 points, 4, 3. But, like, she was averaging 16.5 for 3 consecutive seasons. I think this type of consistency shows for something. And her final game, she balled out. She balled out against Duke. 20 points, 2 steals, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 5 turnovers. Okay, that 5 turnovers is kind of nasty. But everything else, man, she balled out. She gave it all she had, man. I think she qualified compared to some of the other players we've seen drafted tonight. She qualified, you know what I'm saying, for the position. She qualified to be drafted. My camera just went out, so that is a sign that it's time for me to get out. I hope you all take care of yourselves. I hope you enjoyed this live. As always, I'm Rashad Milligan. If you're new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. Please take care of yourselves and have a good night. Until next time, peace.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.